Wait, don't scroll past this moment. Something has already begun shifting around you, and deep down, you've felt it. The silence has been different lately. The nights feel heavier, yet strangely alive. And somewhere, beyond what your eyes can see, a soul is moving closer to you with intention. Not by accident. Not by coincidence. By alignment. There is someone thinking about you right now with a level of intensity they cannot explain. They tried to ignore it. Tried to bury the feeling beneath distractions, routines, noise. But the connection keeps returning. Like a signal that refuses to disappear. And here is the strange part. They may not even fully understand why they are being pulled toward you. But they are taking action now. Tiny steps at first. Quiet decisions. Unexpected changes in their daily life. A sudden urge to revisit a memory. A name they cannot stop hearing. A feeling that someone important is about to enter their world. That someone is you. Pause for a second and ask yourself this. Why have certain things been falling apart recently only to reveal something better behind them? Why have you felt moments of loneliness mixed with sudden hope? Why does it feel like your story is preparing for a dramatic turn? Because your path is no longer standing still. And neither is theirs. Right now, while you listen to these words, invisible threads are connecting timelines. Choices are being rearranged. Delays are dissolving. The universe has been waiting for the exact version of you that exists today, stronger, wiser, more aware than before. You were never meant to meet this person in your old state. No. The old you would have missed the signs completely. But now you notice things differently. You read energy differently. Even your intuition has become sharper. You sense when something meaningful is approaching before it arrives. That feeling in your chest lately? That restless anticipation? It is not random. It is preparation. And what's coming may arrive through the most surprising message imaginable. Not necessarily dramatic. Not loud. But unforgettable. A simple notification. A conversation that begins casually. A stranger saying the exact words your soul needed to hear. A message arriving at an impossible time. And suddenly, your entire direction changes. What if one moment could rewrite the next 5 years of your life? Think about that carefully. Because destiny rarely announces itself with fireworks. Sometimes it whispers first. Then everything changes after. Your soulmate has entered a phase of awakening. They are starting to recognize that the life they have been living no longer satisfies their spirit. The routines feel empty now. The distractions no longer work. Something inside them keeps saying, move. Go. Find the missing piece. And without realizing it, they are moving toward you. Every experience they survived prepared them for this connection. Every heartbreak. Every delay. Every lesson. Even the painful endings that once made no sense. You see, some people enter your life to teach you what love is not, so when the real connection appears, you finally recognize it. And your soul is beginning to recognize it now. That explains why certain memories keep replaying in your mind lately. Why certain dreams feel unusually vivid. Why random songs suddenly sound personal. Energy speaks long before reality catches up. Stay with me a little longer, because this next part matters more than you think. Your soulmate is not searching for perfection anymore. They are searching for truth. For peace. For authenticity. For someone whose presence feels like home after years of emotional noise. And strangely enough, your energy has already reached them. Not through physical distance. Through frequency. There are moments when two souls begin communicating before they officially meet again. Through intuition. Through emotion. Through sudden emotional waves that seem to come from nowhere. Have you noticed those moments lately? A random smile appearing for no reason. An unexplained calm after emotional chaos. A feeling that someone out there understands you deeply, even before speaking to you. That is not fantasy. That is resonance. And the timing could not be more important than it is now. Because both of you have finally become ready at the same time. That almost never happens by accident. One soul awakens first. Then the other catches up. But eventually there comes a rare moment where both hearts begin moving toward the same destination simultaneously. This is that moment. And before this message reaches its end, hear this carefully. Do not doubt your worth during this transition. Do not assume silence means nothing is happening. Some of the most life-changing chapters begin invisibly. Roots grow underground before the world sees the tree. Your soulmate is taking action now in ways you cannot fully see yet. Rearranging priorities. Closing old doors. Healing old wounds. Becoming emotionally available for the future that is approaching. For you. And when the message finally arrives, when the conversation begins, when the strange feeling becomes reality, you will suddenly understand why none of your past connections were able to stay. Because they were never the destination. They were only preparing you to recognize the one soul that was always trying to find the way back to you. And the moment you truly realize this, everything around you begins to look different. Listen carefully. The connection approaching your life is not built on chasing. Not built on confusion. Not built on temporary emotion pretending to be destiny. This bond carries something deeper, something calmer, yet far more powerful than anything you have experienced before. At first, it may not even seem extraordinary. That is what makes it so surprising. Because the most powerful shifts in life rarely arrive looking dramatic in the beginning. They arrive quietly, almost hidden, until one sentence, one encounter, one late-night message suddenly unlocks emotions you thought had disappeared forever. And your soulmate is getting closer to that exact moment now. There's a reason your energy has been changing lately. You are becoming more selective. More aware. You no longer crave attention that feels empty. You no longer wish to force connections that drain your spirit. That transformation was necessary. Because your soul started preparing for something real. Think about how many times you almost gave up on love completely. How many nights you questioned whether meaningful connection still existed in this world. Yet somehow, despite all of it, a small part of your heart kept believing. That small part was protecting the future. Protecting this connection. And what's fascinating is this. Your soulmate has been feeling the same emotional shift at the exact same time. Without speaking to you, they have also been questioning old patterns. Walking away from situations that no longer align with who they are becoming. Choosing growth instead of distraction. Healing instead of escaping. Two souls evolving separately. only to collide at the perfect moment. But wait, because there's another layer to this story no one warned you about. Before destiny places two people together, life often creates emotional distance from everything that no longer belongs in their future. That is why certain friendships faded. Why certain conversations suddenly stopped making sense. Why some people drifted away without explanation. It wasn't punishment. It was redirection. Your life was making space. And sometimes making space feels lonely before it feels beautiful. Never mistake temporary emptiness for permanent loss. Some chapters must close quietly so greater ones can arrive naturally. Now here comes the part you were not expecting. The message coming toward you may arrive during an ordinary moment. Not when you're fully prepared. Not when you've planned for it. In fact, it could happen while you are distracted with daily life, completely unaware that your reality is seconds away from shifting forever. A notification. A reply. A random conversation. An unexpected reconnection. And suddenly your intuition whispers, this feels different. Because it is different. This connection won't force you to prove your worth constantly. It won't leave you emotionally exhausted. It won't make you question your value every single day. Instead, it will awaken something you forgot existed inside you. Peace. Real peace. The kind of peace that feels unfamiliar at first because chaos became normal for too long. And that may be the biggest surprise of all. Not intensity. Not games. Not uncertainty. But clarity. You deserve a connection where your spirit can finally breathe. Take a deep breath and think about this carefully. What if the delays were actually protection? What if every, almost relationship, was life teaching you discernment before the real connection arrived? And what if the person moving toward you right now has also spent years searching for someone exactly like you without realizing it? That possibility changes everything. Stay here for a moment longer, because something important is unfolding beneath the surface of your life right now. Even if you cannot see the full picture yet, movement is happening. Energies are aligning. Timelines are converging. Nothing remains still forever. Especially not destiny. And if these words are resonating with something deep inside you, leave a comment below with the word ready. Sometimes declaring your readiness shifts your energy more than you realize. And if this message found you at the exact moment you needed it, share it with someone whose spirit has been waiting for a sign like this. Subscribe as well, because the next part of this journey may reveal the piece you've been missing all along. Now listen closely. Your soulmate is beginning to recognize signs connected to you without even knowing your full story yet. Certain places suddenly remind them of someone they haven't met. Certain thoughts repeat in their mind without explanation. They feel pulled toward change, toward growth, toward a future they cannot fully describe. That pull is leading them toward you. And the strange thing is, your paths may have already crossed before in ways you never noticed. One brief encounter. One missed conversation. One moment in the same place at the same time. Life does that sometimes. It lets souls orbit each other quietly before the true alignment begins. But this next phase will feel different. More direct. More undeniable. Because the universe only whispers for so long before it finally makes the message impossible to ignore. And when that moment arrives, you won't need endless signs to confirm it. Your spirit will recognize the feeling instantly. Not because it is perfect, but because it is real. Not because it is perfect, but because for the first time in a long time, it feels honest. And honesty has a frequency your soul can recognize immediately. You've spent enough time around temporary energy to understand the difference now. The difference between someone who merely appears, and someone who arrives with purpose. Someone whose presence shifts the atmosphere around your life without forcing anything at all. That is exactly why this next chapter will feel almost unreal at first. Not fake. Just unexpected. Because after so many delays, your heart stopped imagining that something genuine could still appear so suddenly. But destiny does not always move slowly. Sometimes it waits. Then changes everything at once. And the moment approaching you carries that exact energy. Listen carefully to this part because many people miss it when it happens. The soulmate connection rarely begins with certainty. It begins with recognition. A strange sense of familiarity. A feeling that you've known this person beyond time, beyond logic, beyond explanation. You may try to dismiss it. They may try to rationalize it. But some connections bypass the mind completely and speak directly to the spirit. That is why the upcoming message will carry more weight than ordinary conversation. The words themselves may seem simple on the surface, but beneath them, something much deeper will awaken. A shift. A remembering. An opening. And suddenly, pieces of your emotional journey start making sense in ways they never did before. The heartbreaks. The waiting. The confusion. The solitude. None of it was meaningless. It was shaping your ability to recognize truth when it finally arrived. Here is something most people never realize. Your soulmate has also been through battles you know nothing about. Silent disappointments. Emotional exhaustion. Moments where they questioned whether anyone could truly understand them. Yet despite everything, they kept moving forward. And now, their path is bending toward yours. Not out of desperation. Out of alignment. That changes everything. Because desperate connections consume energy. Aligned connections multiply it. Notice how your intuition has become louder recently. Certain thoughts repeating. Certain dreams lingering in your mind longer than usual. Even your emotional reactions have changed. Things that once disturbed you no longer carry the same weight. Why? Because your spirit already senses movement ahead. A future version of you is trying to communicate with the present version of you right now. And if you stay until the very end of this message, you may finally understand why your soul has been feeling restless lately. You are standing between two realities. The old chapter, and the new one approaching fast. That in-between stage can feel strange. One moment hopeful, the next uncertain. One moment energized, the next emotional for no clear reason. But do not fear the transition. Transformation always feels unfamiliar before it feels natural. And what's coming toward you is not meant to break you. It is meant to awaken you. Pause for a second. Imagine receiving a message that instantly changes your emotional state. Not because of fantasy, but because something inside you immediately knows this connection matters. Imagine realizing that the loneliness you once carried was never permanent. It was only a bridge leading you here. Now ask yourself this honestly. What if the love you've been searching for has been searching for you too? Not later. Not someday. Now. Right now. That possibility alone shifts the energy around your future. And here is the fascinating part. Your soulmate may currently be making decisions they don't even realize are guiding them toward you. Choosing a new routine. Visiting a different place. Ending an old cycle. Following a random intuition that seems insignificant today but will become life-changing later. Destiny often hides inside ordinary decisions. That's why you must stay aware during this season of your life. The universe is subtle before it becomes undeniable. And before this part ends, hear this carefully. Do not rush the timing. Do not chase what is already moving toward you naturally. There is power in allowing alignment to unfold without forcing outcomes. Your energy becomes magnetic when you stop trying to control every detail and begin trusting the process unfolding around you. Because what belongs to your future will not require you to betray yourself to receive it. Remember that line. What belongs to your future will arrive with clarity, not confusion. And if these words are reaching something deep within you, subscribe and stay connected to this journey. Because the next revelation may uncover why this soulmate connection feels written beyond coincidence. Share this message with someone who feels emotionally lost right now. Sometimes one message arrives exactly when a soul is ready to hear it. Now one final thought before you leave. Somewhere tonight, your soulmate is thinking about a future they cannot fully see yet. And without realizing it, they are imagining you. They are imagining you. Even if they don't know your name yet. Even if they cannot explain why their heart suddenly feels drawn toward an unknown future with such intensity. Something inside them has started waking up. Quietly. Deeply. Irreversibly. And the closer this connection gets, the stranger the signs become. Moments that once felt ordinary now carry meaning. Time feels different. Certain encounters feel charged with energy. You begin noticing repeating patterns, unexpected emotions, sudden clarity appearing out of nowhere. It's as if life itself is slowly turning your head toward a door that has been waiting to open for a very long time. But here is what nobody tells you about soulmate energy. Before the meeting becomes physical, the emotional connection often begins invisibly. That explains the dreams. The sudden emotional waves. The feeling that someone is about to enter your life and change everything. Your spirit senses movement before your eyes can confirm it. And right now, your soulmate is stepping closer into alignment than ever before. Not perfectly. Not flawlessly. But sincerely. That sincerity matters more than perfection ever could. Because real love is not built from performance. It is built from truth. From emotional safety. From two people finally reaching a stage in life where they are no longer interested in temporary excitement that leaves emptiness behind. Both of you are becoming emotionally ready at the same time. And that timing is rare. Do you understand how extraordinary that is? Millions of people cross paths every day yet never truly connect because their timing is misaligned. One person still healing. The other still hiding. One ready for truth while the other still chasing illusions. But your story is changing now. The emotional preparation phase is ending. The arrival phase has begun. And yes, there may still be moments where doubt tries to enter your mind. Moments where the past whispers old fears back to you. But the version of you listening to this message is no longer the same person who once settled for confusion. You've grown. You've evolved. You've learned how to recognize energy that drains you versus energy that expands you. That wisdom will protect your future. Now listen closely, because this next part may stay with you long after the video ends. The message coming toward you carries more than words. It carries confirmation. Confirmation that your heart was never foolish for continuing to believe in meaningful connection. Confirmation that your patience was not wasted. Confirmation that your soul knew something your mind could not fully explain yet. Sometimes destiny allows you to feel the future emotionally before you can physically touch it. That is exactly what has been happening to you. And when the conversation finally happens, when the connection becomes undeniable, one realization will hit you harder than anything else. The waiting changed you into the person capable of receiving this love properly. Without the lessons, you would have ignored the signs. Without the heartbreaks, you would not recognize emotional peace. Without the solitude, you would not understand the value of genuine connection. Everything prepared you for this. Everything. Even the painful chapters. Especially the painful chapters. And if you've stayed all the way to this moment, that is not accidental either. Some messages find people at the exact second their spirit is ready to hear the truth hidden inside them. So before this journey closes, leave a comment below saying, "I trust the timing." Not for anyone else, but for yourself. Sometimes your spirit needs to see your own belief written into reality. And if this message touched something real inside your heart, share it with someone who has almost given up on love. Subscribe and stay close to this energy, because the next chapter unfolding in your life may arrive faster than you expect. Now take one slow breath. And imagine this scene carefully. A message appears. Simple. Unexpected. Yet the second you read it, your intuition goes silent for a moment, because deep inside, you already know. This is different. Not another lesson. Not another temporary chapter. But the beginning of something your soul has been preparing for long before your mind understood it. And somewhere, at this exact moment, your soulmate is feeling the same pull toward you too. Your soulmate is feeling the same pull toward you too. And the closer the connection becomes, the harder it will be for either of you to ignore it. Because some energies are too strong to remain hidden forever. You may notice it first in small ways. A sudden shift in your mood for no visible reason. A calmness appearing in the middle of chaos. An overwhelming sense that your life is approaching a turning point even though nothing obvious has changed yet. But beneath the surface, everything is changing. There are moments in life when destiny moves quietly. No loud announcements. No dramatic warnings. Just subtle alignment happening behind the scenes until one day reality catches up with what your soul already knew. You are entering that phase now. And this next chapter will not feel like chasing. It will feel like unfolding. Natural. Steady. Certain. The kind of connection that doesn't force you to shrink yourself just to be accepted. The kind that allows you to breathe fully without fear of losing someone the moment you reveal your true heart. That matters more than you realize. Because too many people confuse emotional intensity with genuine connection. But true soulmate energy does not leave you constantly anxious. It does not make you question your worth every day. It creates clarity. And clarity is approaching your life now faster than you think. Wait. Because this next realization may explain everything you've been feeling recently. Your soulmate has been unknowingly preparing space for you in their life already. Releasing old emotional baggage. Detaching from connections that no longer resonate. Becoming more honest with themselves about what they truly want. Not perfection. Not fantasy. Something real. Something lasting. Something that feels like peace after years of emotional noise. And the fascinating part is, you have been doing the exact same thing without even realizing it. Two separate journeys. One shared destination. That is why the timing suddenly feels charged with energy. You're no longer moving away from each other. You're moving toward the same future now. Take a second and think about how rare that truly is. Out of billions of lives unfolding simultaneously, two souls can still find each other at the precise moment they are finally emotionally ready to connect properly. That is not random. That is alignment at its highest level. And yes, there will still be moments where your logical mind tries to doubt what your spirit already senses. That's natural. Human hearts become cautious after disappointment. But caution is different from fear. Your soul is no longer afraid of love itself. It is simply waiting for truth. And truth is closer now than ever before. There is a reason this message found you today instead of months ago. The version of you listening now is capable of understanding it differently. Your awareness has expanded. Your emotional intelligence has deepened. You've stopped seeking temporary validation. Now you seek resonance. That change alone transformed your future. Because soulmate connections are not attracted through desperation. They are attracted through alignment. And your energy has been shifting into alignment more and more each day. That explains why certain old attachments no longer feel the same. Why some conversations suddenly feel empty. Why your intuition keeps nudging you toward growth instead of comfort. Your spirit knows something your conscious mind is still catching up to. A new chapter is already approaching. And before this final moment ends, hear this carefully. Do not underestimate the power of one unexpected message. One conversation can redirect your entire future. One encounter can restore belief you thought was gone forever. One connection can remind you why every difficult season had to happen exactly the way it did. Sometimes the greatest blessings arrive quietly at first because they are meant to be felt deeply, not displayed loudly. So stay open. Stay aware. And most importantly, stay emotionally available for the future trying to enter your life now. Because somewhere very close to your reality, a person is preparing to meet someone who will change their life forever. And that person is you. And that person is you. The one they have been unknowingly preparing their heart for through every lesson, every delay, every quiet moment of growth. And when this connection finally becomes real, you will realize something extraordinary. Neither of you arrived too early. Neither of you arrived too late. You found each other at the exact moment your souls could finally recognize what truly mattered. That realization alone will heal parts of you that words could never fully reach. Because deep inside, you were never searching for temporary attention. You were searching for understanding. For emotional safety. For a connection that feels calm even when the world around you becomes chaotic. And the energy moving toward your life now carries that exact frequency. Not rushed. Not forced. Just undeniable. Listen carefully, because this final layer changes everything. Your soulmate is no longer running from what they feel. That season is ending. The confusion that once surrounded their emotions is fading away. The distractions no longer satisfy them. They have started craving something deeper than surface-level connection. Something authentic. Something rare. Something that feels alive. And without fully understanding why, every road keeps leading them toward you. Maybe through timing. Maybe through coincidence that isn't really coincidence at all. Maybe through a message that seems ordinary at first, until one sentence suddenly reaches your heart in a way nothing else has before. That moment is closer than you think. You can probably feel it already. The atmosphere around your life has been changing. Certain things ending unexpectedly. Certain emotions resurfacing. Certain instincts becoming impossible to ignore. Your spirit is preparing for recognition. Because soulmate energy does not enter your life quietly forever. Eventually it becomes impossible to overlook. And when the connection strengthens, one thing will stand out immediately. You will not feel the need to pretend. No masks. No emotional games. No exhausting uncertainty. Just two people seeing each other clearly after years of feeling misunderstood by the world around them. That kind of connection changes a person permanently. It restores hope without needing to force it. And maybe that's why this message reached you now, because a part of your heart was beginning to forget that genuine love still exists in this world. But it does. And it's moving toward you faster than you realize. Take a slow breath and imagine this carefully. Imagine waking up one day and realizing the loneliness that once felt endless has quietly disappeared. Not because life suddenly became perfect, but because someone entered your reality whose presence feels natural to your soul. Someone who listens differently. Understands differently. Feels familiar in a way logic cannot explain. That is the future slowly unfolding around you now. And the beautiful part is this. Neither of you needed to become perfect to deserve this connection. You only needed to become real. That authenticity became the signal. That growth became the magnet. And now destiny is responding. Stay with this thought for a moment longer. What if every difficult chapter was actually creating emotional depth inside you for this exact connection? What if the waiting was never punishment? What if life was teaching both of you how to love properly before bringing you together? Suddenly the delays make sense. Suddenly the heartbreaks lose their power over you. Because you finally understand. The story was never over. It was only preparing for its most important chapter. And if these words have walked beside your spirit through this journey, leave one final comment below saying, "I am ready for what is meant for me." Not as wishful thinking, but as a declaration that you no longer fear the future unfolding ahead of you. Share this message with someone who needs hope restored in their heart today. And subscribe, because sometimes the right message arrives exactly when destiny begins moving behind the scenes. Now, before this ends completely, remember this one truth. The message you've been waiting for is already making its way toward you. The connection you thought was impossible is already moving closer. And somewhere tonight, two souls are unknowingly thinking about the same future at the exact same time.